Being a cover girl for I Am Bold and Fearless Woman magazine is about embracing your unique story. It's not just about looks, it's about confidence, resilience, and authenticity. Share your journey, inspire others, and celebrate your strength. Remember, every woman has a voice. Let yours shine through our pages. If you have a story of resilience, then we have a cover space for you. Don't want to be a cover girl, but you have a story? You can share your story as an article and let your voice reach millions. This magazine is translated into 25 languages with text-to-speech and reaches over 120 countries, seen in-flight and on cruise ships. You can grab a copy digitally and in print. We launch March 8th, 2025. Sign up today on our website at www.queensmindset.net.
Welcome back to Queen's Mindset. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We are super excited to have you here with us tonight yet again as we continue our season 7 of Battered Bruised, Not Broken. If this is your first time, we welcome you. Go right ahead. Just drop some comments in the chat for us so that we see that you're here. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We are excited to have you in the room because guess what? We have another powerful woman here tonight to share her story with you. And I cannot wait for you to hear all about her story. Listen, if this is your first time, you're not getting used to us, I want you to go right ahead. Just make sure that you hit subscribe to this channel. Make sure you like this video as well. Comment below so that we can have our interaction. And let's get ready to introduce the woman of the hour because we are super excited to hear everything that has been happening and how she has been able to overcome. Welcome, Queen. How are you?
I am doing just wonderful. I am so ecstatic to be here. Thank you so much for hosting me on this phenomenal platform of a lifetime. Thank you.
You are most welcome. We are excited to have you here with us as well. And so, Saskia, I know they're sitting at the edge of their seats and they're probably wondering to themselves, okay, what is her story? What is it that she has to share with us tonight? But before we jump right into it, I want to start at the beginning. I want you to start by telling us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you so much for asking. The journey has been anything but extraordinary. So I was born in Guyana, which really is just a wonderful, just green landscape of a country. And then at the age of 16, 17, I migrated with my family to Antigua. So I'm also Antiguan as well, spent quite a bit of my early adult years there working at a distillery company and really just having an amazing time, a wonderful, unforgettable time. And then I made the transition after, years of work. But before that, I actually went to Trinidad. So I was actually living in Trinidad and Tobago for roughly 3 years on campus life. Oh, it was just beautiful. The cultures, the diverse cultures embrace, that's really how my cultural competency was built. And really my character, who I was, because you really learn lots of negotiation skills when you're actually having to live every day with 300 women in a hall. And so that experience I take with me to this very day. And that's the reason I am who I am. I show up with empathy and understanding and compassion because of that. And that really did prepare me for the United States journey. Just being going to New Jersey for grad school in chemical engineering, and again, cultures from India and Korea, all these different places really just give me that foundation for being a global resilience ambassador today, just before launching into corporate America for 17 plus years as a chemical engineer, visionary leader. What a rich experience that was. And it was eye-opening towards my purpose path. It prepared me for the journey to be a mighty comeback queen. Just living that experience, all the accolades, and showing everyone that it can be done. Yes, you heard me. It can be done. No limitations in this place. And so I can't tell you how fulfilling that experience has been for me when I literally turned my grief, and use that as a catalyst for transformation, for empowerment, for mental wellness awareness, for resilience building, for professionals out there who've neglected their emotional self well-being and health, like I was as an engineer. And now I'm an informed, certified trauma and resilience life coach because I gathered those skills to be able to help not only myself on this painful journey, the journey of pain into purpose, but also to encourage others who are just simply going through. There are lots of us going through, even at this hour as we go through different things with the election results and what have you. Nobody wants to talk about it, but that is a source of trauma for some. And we have to learn to be compassionate with others because you will find yourself there. So what do you do?
Wow. 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 I mean, you said quite a lot already. So let's begin to unpack some things there. You are pretty much the Caribbean melting pot because you've been a little bit,
Absolutely.
you got exposed to different cultures. And I think that's
Yes,
really
yes.
phenomenal because it really helps to shape you into who you've become, so that's really amazing. But you also said that you do something too as well. You said you deal with women, well, not just women, but you deal with people who are dealing with trauma. Can you talk to us a little bit about that and how that all started for you? What caused you to go into that field?
Yes. And it's really mostly a personal journey. I had both personal and professional traumatic experiences that shape my life. And those pains ran very, very deep. But I had a choice. I had to wake up and realize that there are lots of people, there were tools out there. So really, my dad actually went missing for several years now. And I have no idea where he is, just disappeared. And our parents were married and everything, myself and my sister. And it's that really hits differently. And you realize that you have a lot of unresolved grief that you have to walk around. So think about it. Having to walk around every day with unresolved grief, but yet still show up with compassion for others. Excruciating pain. There's really no outlet. You are the transformation outlet at that point. So what do? I put everything into writing. I designed my own app to be able to help hurting professionals, right? And that's in development or waiting for funding. And I know I'm going to get great news there in terms of it now. We have the go ahead to really make it into a utility so that others can benefit from it. And those lonely hours when you have no one. There were many nights when you have no one to talk to and relate to. People need to be able to tap into a resource to help with their coping mechanisms and just to help them get by to see another day. And so that's what I utilize the time at Boostru app. Boostru is really cultivated, and Boostru is a company that was formed. It's a multi-platform life transformation coaching service dedicated to helping professionals, those underdogs. I am the ultimate underdog. There's no explanation for me. There's no explanation for me doing all these amazing things coming out of corporate America. every single award, Marquee Top Engineer Award, Global Visionary Award, Global Author Icon Award. And I'm not saying that because I'm just throwing my awards in anyone's face. Please understand, I am telling people that you have to wake up and understand that there is rich talent potency within you. We are not to sit down on our talents. Everyone has unique offering for the environment. And when we don't give that offering, companies, everyone loses. You get to form your own company. I get to form my own dynasty because I realized what I had in me all along. But I don't want anyone else to miss out on that chance. We cannot afford a moment by walking out of purpose. It is a very dangerous thing to do. And so because I actually said yes in obedience, I had the opportunity to be able to impact so many lives for the better. We have to learn to cherish the human life and have respect and dignity for it. We have to take care of ourselves. Self-care, it starts there. It is the foundation for resiliency. All of those applications, right? Tailored coping mechanisms for professionals to tap into with a little bit of Caribbean West Indian flavor. I've put into the app concept and in my workshop offerings, resilience workshop offerings that I've been giving almost every quarter now, so many sessions that have enriched the lives of professionals who simply need to know not just to survive, but how to thrive in their environment, have their own comeback experience. So yes, I am the comeback giveaway queen. And I am here, I am very clear in terms of what my purpose is on earth. Very, very clear. Laser focus. Because I had a number of years to really settle in this so that I can prepare all this goodness for the underdog professional out there. And underdogs come in all different colors. It could be this wonderful background I have, a West Indian background that I have, all the parts of the world, wherever you will find underdogs. And guess it's being done a disservice. The world is losing out. And of course, the underdog professional is losing out. So if you're hearing me today, reach out to me. There is hope here. There is transformation here. You get to turn on.
So And so I like some of the stuff that you shared in terms of you building out your app, and you're chasing, or I don't say chasing, because that might not be a best choice of words, but you are passionate about working with persons to help them build that level of resilience, right? And you mentioned earlier that some of it stemmed from with you going into dealing with trauma and being a counselor and stuff, helping persons with that, was really from the fact that your dad, he just left one day. And so walk us through that some more and tell us a little bit more about that story, how that occurred, and how old were you when that happened?
Yeah, so please understand, I want everyone to be clear on this. It's not only my personal trauma is what drove me into massive success to be able to help others, but it's also my professional traumatic experience that I've had in my 17 plus years and beyond, let's say whatever, 20 years or whatever in the corporate environment that I was in. But instead of actually dwelling on negativities, I turned those things into positivities. And then when I left the corporate environment, I was able to leave. I had a wonderful red carpet exit. Like I said, I do cherish my past. I decided, I had the opportunity, I would say, because that I was all set. It's all pre-planned. I had the opportunity to convert that into goodness in this world so people can benefit from my pain. I know it sounds kind of weird, but that's really what it was. And so my dad being missing, again, there's no textbook. There's no textbook way to handle that. I converted that story into a wonderful chapter. It was very painful to write. Of resilient A.F, and that means, and my translation is resilient, authentic fulfillment, stories of resilience. And that book made it to, and that's by Blair Kaplan Venables and Alana, her sister, amazing women, frontline persons, professionals, in giving people, encouraging people with their transformative stories, sharing 50 plus. And so the opportunity has been amazing. The book was able to hit Oscars gift launch, the Emmys gift launch, and now we are heading into New York, being on the Billboard come January. There are no words to describe that. All of that because I said, yes, I will convert my pain. I will do the expressive, writing, journaling of my experience with my dad to be able to help others, because there are lots of people who are needing that type of help. And so it was therapeutic for me. But think about their lives. Think about the number of lives that it's being impacting just with that. If you Google it, you Google me. I know it's a lot of entries on me now. I'm amazed myself. But if you Google me, you will see that story, that excerpt that I wrote there to of that experience, and really how community, the importance of community, and the importance of encouragement and meditation and those things, right? Using nature therapy to be able to help process that. And your emotions are your emotions. I always keep saying there's no timeline, there's no textbook, and there's no timeline for healing. That's nonsense. You validate, you acknowledge, everybody's emotions need to be acknowledged, need to be validated. And you walk at your own pace, and you need people who are positive, supportive. You need professionals like myself in your corner who are certified trauma-informed resilience life coaches, as well as therapists, as well as counselors, professional counselors, psychotherapists, to be able to help you on that journey. Not any and everybody gets to come in, because not any and everybody can make a positive impact in your life at the time when you need it the most. And boundaries. Boundaries has been very, very important to me. I was somebody who was way too accommodating. I said yeses too many times. And then I needed that emotional space, that tool to be able to preserve my emotional space, and so that I can be vulnerable and really truly heal, and not have everyone injecting their experience or their thoughts or input into something that they're not qualified to talk about, because they have no idea. Unless you've lived this pain, it has to be done on the individual pace. And that's exactly the same methodological approach, the same type of thinking and understanding is what I placed into Boost True's e-courses, really, on how to cope all the way to the top in your journey, your professional journey, your personal journey, as well as the resilience plan e-course tool in preparation for the app launch that will come, because we are close to getting funding for its development. So I have to say that there's a lot of goodness. It may seem right now it's bleak in the world, but because of history makers and change makers like myself, we're going to see a mighty turnaround, and it's going to end well for a lot of persons. And that is the most important thing.
Yeah. And so I want to go back to that question on the trauma. I know you said that he left, and because I'm trying to get clarity for someone here who might be dealing with that. Your mom and dad, were they married when he left, or?
No. This my parents got divorced at the age of 8. I was 8 years old.
18. So, you were 18 when that.
No, 8.
8. Oh, 8 years old. Yes. Okay. So you were pretty young then.
I'm not gonna date myself by telling you.
So yes, you were 8 at the time, when they got divorced. Yes. And so it's after the divorce that he left, or was it before?
No, this is 2018, 2019. This is relatively recent times.
Oh, recently that he just left. Okay.
2019, and he disappeared in my birth country of Guyana, and looked for him. And I covered quite a bit in the journey. I don't necessarily want to address all those components here, but that was the foundation when I realized that nobody understood my pain, even if they thought that they had good intentions.
Right.
We weren't able to contribute to anything for me to be able to move forward, other than my divine source, God.
Yes,
That's
God.
it. That's it. It wasn't for him. I keep telling everyone, if it was not for God, I would be dead. And I really do mean that. Because I know, I understand there's a sense of urgency where people are concerned. People every day are walking on the edge because circumstances are just really beyond. It's amazing how many things that we are hit with as humans, and we're expected to simply brush off, brush off and move on. Think about all that pain that's being buried, that's not being addressed. All those emotional self-regulation techniques that I have learned because I made sure I was intentional in making sure that I get that education, those insights, those tools, resources, and really how to overcome or to respond to those trauma triggers, right? To be able to live a healthy life of substance so that I can do this phenomenal work today that I was called to do, that I was chosen to do. And we all have those different scopes that we are called, those different areas that we are called to do, right? So, what do we
And
do?
so, and you said too that outside of just, it being personal trauma that you had to deal with, I mean, of course, with that. And then there was also, you said, on the job type of trauma. So walk us through that type of trauma that you had to encounter and how were you able to overcome that?
Yes. So, like I wrote in my book, and I will go as far as there, I do have my main book coming out, by the way, and it's very soon. I don't have a launch date yet, but it's The Power Within, where we really get to go into amazing stories along my journey that showcase resilience application in so many ways. And then, of course, it will be followed by several anthologies and those 10 themes that are covered in that main book. So there's more to come. There's more to come there. But the journey itself, the corporate journey, has been covered in my book. The first anthology that I did, I converted that into a mindset mastery book, really. And that's to really encourage others to move from victim to undercover victor. And that's a term that I created, like UV light. We've been walking around very, pretty much invisible, but having a lot of potency. And it's really time for that transformation kit. I share the 3-step, formula around resilience building, confidence building, and strategies application, where persons can move. Professionals who are experiencing corporate talent marginalization, they're sitting on the sidelines and they have no idea how to utilize the goodness that they have, the superpowers, for the greatness of the company and, of course, for their elevation as well. And so that's what I did. I turned my pain, my suffering of being overlooked with all this talent. Imagine, I've been sitting there for close to 20 years and nobody recognized who I was. No one
I mean,
recognized.
yeah. I mean, we can only imagine, nobody wants to feel that way. Nobody wants to feel overlooked. And I have to ask this question because we know we're talking battered, bruised, not broken. And
Yes.
you are a woman of resilience. You're building resilience capacity. That's why you're able now to help other people, to help them through that process. What were some of the other things that you had to encounter on your journey as to build resilience? So we know you encountered that moment with your dad leaving, and there's nothing to say why he left or where he went. And then you had the encounter of being on the job and not being valued, for your actual worth that you were bringing. So what else did you encounter as you build through that?
Yes. And like I said, I had lots of opportunities to be able to build resilience, particularly in the academia world as well. So there have been more than one instance where I started my program and I did not have all my finances together to be able to complete my entire program. So imagine me with all that promise and not knowing if I'm going to complete something. And I'm somebody who always completes whatever she starts. And it was very unsettling feeling. But to see that miraculously being worked out for me, because I was very focused and I knew that I was positioned for success. I knew that there's something there in the environment for me. So see, when you know that you know that you know that you have a place, you play differently. And so you walk in believing that there's something for you, believing that there's funding for you. And you ask, you give your very best. You give your very best grades and so forth. You encourage others. You uplift others. You see positivity within the environment, even though it's unknown as to how your journey is going to end. And I really, at that time, I enrolled in grad school, environmental engineering program. I'm a chemical engineer, but I wanted to switch because I have a love for water treatment. That's just my thing. And so at that time, the professor did not have the funding for me. I got an A in her class, amazing professor. But she said, oh, look on the other side. I have a friend. He has funding. And at that time, I was only doing my master's program. I would not signed up for any doctoral program or anything. But the person that she was pointing me to, he had all doctoral students. But I went with faith anyway. I did not let that get in the way. And she said, go over and ask him, tell him I sent you. I went over there and I confidently approached that professor and said that I have a need for a research assistantship. And so the door swung wide open for me to complete my degree with pharmaceutical engineering, environmental engineering, everything. I had the very rich experience at New Jersey Institute of Technology. I love that school and the professionals there. And that professor is the one, basically, that relationship carried all the way through to even Arizona with his son and everything. They're now an extended family of ours. And so everything, every single pain and hardship that I have experienced, even in working in the islands and so forth, so many things, which I will cover in the book. I don't want to give anything away. But everything has been converted for good purpose. There is no gloom here. All there are lots of tools because of those experiences that I would not, if it wasn't for those experiences, I would not have the tools or be positioned to be able to help my fellow professionals of all backgrounds. So there's encouragement. You put a smile.
Mm-hmm. And so, question, I have to ask this question to that woman right now. She's watching, she's hearing about you, being that resilient person that you are and working with persons who are dealing with trauma. What would be your words of encouragement to a woman who may be watching us right now, or maybe she'll catch the replay, and who is dealing with some level of trauma, whether it was on the job, similar to you, or within her personal life? What would be your words of encouragement to her?
Excellent question. And I would start with yourself, because if you don't work on yourself, you have nothing to give. Self-care is very important. It is the foundation for resilience, which is the gift in mental health and wellness, mental healing. And that also helps with empathy and compassion. You work on that, work on your own empathy for yourself so that you can have empathy for others, because that's what makes you a strong and well-functioning professional out there, whichever walk, whichever aspect, or whichever journey you decide to be on or you're placed on. And so boundaries, setting boundaries, rigid boundaries to protect yourself, to protect your emotional space, and to give you dignity and respect as a person so that you can give to this world all that you have to give. That's important. And you just go easy on yourself. Understand that there's no timeline, it's not an express line for emotional healing and for recovery. So your feelings, your emotions don't need to be validated by anyone out there. You're already validated. You're already equipped for the journey. And you see, healing is a powerful thing. But you reach out. Reach out to us. We have all those coping tools at Boost Through. boostthrough.com/contact. You can connect with me. And so let us help you on that journey for resilience building so that you can go out there, like myself, and conquer this world. Like you were meant, you were designed to. Don't deprive yourself of that opportunity. The time is now.
Well said, well said, well said. Wow. And so, as you continue to journey on, you talked about the opportunity that, presented itself. You were able now to turn, all of those things that you were able to learn from the trauma and the different experiences that you had into your books and so on. How was that process for you, in becoming an author? How was that?
Wow. So, I mean, I would say, like, when I look back at the journey, Kamisha, oh, wow, like 7 anthologies. I have another anthology that's coming out in November. Imagine, for the last year and 9 months, I contributed to 7 anthologies, plus bringing out my own book from the first book that I did on strategies, on purpose, strategies for living and leading, converting that into mindset mastery. So it's been a thrill, and it has been a confidence builder to know that I actually have the power to put all my emotions and feelings on paper. And for me, it comes beautifully. It's just a talent. It's just a gift. I am very grateful. I'm very grateful to the above for that particular talent. It's personal, but I had to be equipped with that so that I can be impactful in this world, so I can be a change agent. The other day I got another word for global change maker. And that's exactly the kind of footprint that I would like to leave behind. And so it was a joy to be able to do even a little, page, the Art of Connection book that actually went international bestseller, right? And actually landed in the Library of Congress. To know that my work ended up in that Library of Congress and more to come. It's been just absolutely, absolutely phenomenal and transformative. And I had no idea that was going to happen, that I was going to be used in such a powerful way. Just because I surrendered my emotions to paper and I said, let it out there so that other people can know, so that they can be not walk around as victims and weak, but they can actually emerge in strength and in power. So that's where I wear my red today, strength, because we all have that within us. I don't care where you're from. I'm a lady of many different places. I never want to be tied down to any particular place. So I had the opportunity to live in 4 different countries. Imagine that. Having to navigate different cultures, showing respect for others. It is fundamental for you to do anything great in this world. I am a great leader because I've humbled myself in that journey so that all that goodness can come out, so that it can be of great benefits to this world. We cannot afford to die with what we were packaged with. And we all don't know the hour or the time we are going to leave this earth. I don't want to sound cryptic, but that's just what it is. Time is running out. And so there's urgency. And then when you think of urgency, you think of Boost Through. What we can do to help you to reclaim your power. The professional who's listening to me today, regardless of where you are in this world, what can you do to reclaim your power so that you can live an authentic and joyful and triumphant life that you were meant to live? Now, don't you deserve that? Don't you deserve that? If there's one thing you leave with today, I leave you with today, is ask yourself, are you living? Are you living, and are you experiencing that purpose and passion-driven mission over your life? Are you leveraging your super talents for greatness when coming to innovation? So many things, elevation of human standard, quality. Are you doing that? If not, you're wasting your time. Or are you simply being distracted by lots of noise out there? There's lots of noise, right? And like I said, there's noise about who was going to be in the White House when your White House is up here. Your mental health is everything. What do you focus on as a professional? Are you leaving a long-lasting legacy so that people can benefit from that when your children look at you, when they think about your life, and when people see them in the years to come? What do they think? What do they say about their parent? What do they say? I'm going to let that sit. What have you done to help this world? Did you see chaos? Did you see hate? Or did you see love, peace, transformation, improvement, innovation, creativity, excellence? Did you raise the human standard of living? If not, it doesn't count.
That's good. That's good. And so I know we're getting ready to wrap up shortly, but tell us about your app. You mentioned it a bit earlier. Tell us what it involves. And for those persons who may be watching right now, they heard about it, they're a bit intrigued, and they want to learn more. Tell us how it works and how we can become a part of it or be involved.
Well, yes, it's very premature right now. It looks as though we'll be going into development stages, as we work out the kinks with funding. And so once it's tested, we have its early beta testing and everything. I'll be inviting persons in to be able to give voice on their experience and so forth. But it's really there to help people, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, right? Helping them heal and giving them those coping mechanisms, regardless of which season of life they're in, because we all have seasons, different seasons of life. So having all those tailored mechanisms and just giving them insights into how they can utilize those harsh seasons, those harsh winter seasons, to come out thriving and on top in their professional journey as well as in their personal journey. So it's really a gift. It's not only on demand, 24/7 resources, right? Tools, courses, those things, but also you get the life coaching experience as well coming. So it's very much rich, excellent portals that will really benefit every professional, regardless of where they are on their journey, because we are all at different points of our journey, at different phases. So our needs are different. So yes, I will stay tuned for more and boost through. I'm very, very active on LinkedIn, right? On the Saskia Christian and on the Boost Through, and Instagram, as well on Facebook, Instagram, as well as my personal profile, Saskia Christian Johnson, my married name. So there's so much to come, and I'm super excited.
Yes,
for such
yes.
a time as this.
And tell us at the same time, tell us about your books as well. I know you mentioned quite a few anthologies that you're a part of, so tell us where they can purchase them, where they can find them, and so on.
Yes, so on the resource page of boostthrough.com/resources, you'll be able to find the Mindset Mastery. You can also find that on Ingram Spark, on Amazon. It's pretty much everywhere, in Google Books and everywhere. Mindset Mastery book by Saskia Christian. And that's really where I address corporate talent marginalization. And also the Resilient Adolf F book, Stories of Resilience, that can be found also on Amazon. I just had an amazing bestseller experience, right? So it was a thrill to be in chapter 1 of the LET, Leadership Experience Store, stories of the world's greatest speakers, to really convert my journey right, of speech development or signature of speech framework, right, into words in that beautiful chapter, and that's to be coming out soon. We'll know that shortly as the prints become available for us. So I'll be sharing more of that as well, and they can get that also on the resource page. You Are Enough book that I co-authored, an amazing team of mostly people from my Global Society of Female Entrepreneurs, and compiled by the famous Lady O, who invited me to speak on emotional trauma healing this particular Saturday coming. What a joy. I can't, there's so many books right now. And then we have The Power in the Asking, like the show up, Power in Showing Up, by Dr. Dr. Robbie Motter. And that's going to be released soon in time for Kindness Day. And that also will be available on Amazon, on my book, on my book resource link as well. There's so many. Art of Connection can be found on Amazon book, Amazon portal as well. And I'm sure I'm probably forgetting at least the Empowered Women in Wellness. That's an amazing collaboration that I did with just awesome women, most of them in the Marietta area. Kimberly Smith Austin, our founder for the Empowered Women in Wellness conference. It's Empowered Women in Wellness, Courage to Shine. And we have another business conference called Empowered Women in Business that I am planning. I'm in the planning committee for all empowered women stuff. And so that's also available on my resource page on boosttrue.com/resources. So there's so many ways to be able to read about my journey and to be really impacted by all those enriching tools that I have offered in so many different fashions. And so writing is a gift. It's indeed a gift. And I'm honored. I am grateful. Yeah. I'm grateful to be able to have that to share with the world.
Amazing, and congratulations. That's major, for all of the accomplishments that you've been able to gain so far, because there's so much more in store that I know is coming, that's for sure. Yeah. And so congratulations for now, and congratulations in advance, for what is to come, definitely to come. Mm-hmm. And so just before we go, I have to ask this question, because I love to ask almost all the guests this. Looking back on everything that you have been able to accomplish and overcome, is there anything that you would have done differently?
Wow. I would say I would have wanted to just have that wake up experience a little bit earlier in terms of the talent potency that I had within me. You see, I've allowed people around me, I've allowed professionals and just everyone to really speak into my life when they were not qualified to do so. And in doing that, that actually caused limitations and false labels on me. And that actually suppressed all my talents and so forth. And so if I had listened less to that, put boundaries in place, say yes less, right? And have the wrong people, let's say wrong people, the negative people at bay, then it would have been a better experience for me. And I have just one thing to say, I have to add here. I have to say this. In this journey, I've interfaced with many, many professionals, many of them. And I've been taught many lessons. I accept those lessons. And at the same time, I want the world to know that I forgive all those who have done me wrong. I forgive them. And I wish them well on the journey. But I have something I want everyone to listen to me very carefully about. In this particular phase, this new Saskia, I'm not entertaining anyone from the past who has caused me harm. And so with that, I love you from a distance, but work continues. In order for me to do the work diligently, I place those boundaries around me and I wish them well. And that's what I had to discover, that you can be kind, yet still be very clear in terms of your boundaries exercising. and do not compromise for the sake of anyone, because it actually dilutes you.
Wow. Wow. Listen, Saskia, thank you so much. It's definitely been a pleasure having you on the show tonight,
Thank
helping
you.
you to share your story
Yes,
with us. I know that they've definitely been tuning in, they're listening, and they're enjoying your story. And I welcome the comments to come as persons get in and they catch the replay. Feel free to drop your comments. We'll definitely be checking your comments
sure.
to see what is being said. And so I really just want to thank you so much for being here with us, Saskia, telling your
Yes,
story and sharing with them and helping to empower them and encourage them and reminding them of who they've been called to be, women of resilience. So thank
yes.
you. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you. It's been
Yes,
such a
yes.
pleasure being here and
Mhm.
sharing my journey with you. You've been an amazing host, just
Thank
wonderful
you.
and relevant questions. So I thank you for having this platform for not only for myself, but so many professionals
Mhm.
who come on there and just give
Yes.
those experiences and wisdom. We're very grateful for you and your work.
Yes, you are most welcome. You are most welcome. And so, to you, queens who are tuning in right now, thank you for tuning in tonight. Thank you for being here. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing this link with a friend to encourage another woman out there who is in a similar position right now. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm excited. I can't believe we only have 2 more episodes left, and then this season
Yeah.
has come to an end. And so, I want you to continue to share as we get ready to wrap up. So next week we have another powerful woman who's going to be in the house to share her story, and I can't wait for you to hear all about her. And so make sure that you're tuning in to next week, same time, same place, and don't come alone. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. It was definitely a pleasure. I will see you very soon. Goodbye.
Bye now. Take care.